6 reasons why a product company needs an AI adoption facilitator. This is a case for companies that are using generative AI, engaged in product engineering work, and want to build better, faster, and cheaper solutions. First reason, it is possible for someone to build something useless really quickly because generative AI is very powerful. Generative AI is in fact a solution in search of a problem. Many companies are wondering how to utilize this power available to them. It is possible that a team that is very enthusiastic about generative AI might end up building something which is better, faster, cheaper, but it is not really solving a problem that needs to be solved, like this polar refrigerator plant. That is why you need a facilitator to guide the enthusiasm and ensure that the problem being solved is important, relevant, and needs to be solved. The second reason why a facilitator is needed is the difference in speed of AI adoption in most companies. Companies have a few people who are up to speed on generative AI. They have experimented with it and they are very good, and in fact they are nudging the company to make use of generative AI. Whereas majority is in the wait and watch mode. They are a bit apprehensive and in fact a bit scared. If the company goes ahead and implements solutions without taking the majority into confidence, the solutions may end up being biased by the minority. That is why you need a facilitator. A facilitator who will train the majority on the use of generative AI and then match the speed of adoption across the company so that the company can make progress as one team. The third reason, risk of forgetting that building software product needs collaboration. It is possible that the management of a company simply delegates the use of generative AI to some juniors, and there are quite a few juniors in most companies who are eager to pick up the gauntlet. To add to that, there are many vendors of powerful AI tools who are pushing to build things better, faster, cheaper, really quickly. In this frenzy, even a single professional may end up building something in complete isolation without consulting the stakeholders or the leadership team. What is a solution built without collaboration? Are they likely to solve relevant problems? Are they likely to address the priorities of the company? Is it a better, faster, cheaper way of generating waste? That is why you need a facilitator to ensure that the stakeholders stay involved. Facilitators can nudge the top leadership team to get involved instead of merely delegating all AI related work to juniors. The fourth reason, failure to decompose high level requirements. Very often, requirements for software products come at 10,000 feet high level. You need to break those down and decompose them to a lower level of granularity for you to be able to generate code. If you prompt to generate code for an epic without decomposing it, no doubt generative AI will come up with something. But it is likely to be oversimplified and devoid of detailed functionality needed. We need to ask questions before jumping to generate code. AI or no AI, the best practice of vertical slicing stays relevant. To make the best use of generative AI, you need to decompose the requirement to a level of granularity where it lends itself to be generated. Otherwise, you will end up like this gentleman here trying to force the entire loaf of bread into the pop-up toaster. Your team can be in a better position if they are guided by a facilitator. Generative AI can be used to generate questions that can help to decompose the requirements, resulting in user stories that are easy to estimate, easy to test, and of course, they lend themselves well for code generation. The fifth reason, overuse of vanilla LLMs. ChatGPT and other vanilla LLMs or large language models are available. Many of them are available for free. Most of us start making use of those right out of the box without much training. You need to provide proper context to the LLMs, which takes a lot of efforts and some of the prompts can be repetitive. There are better ways to harness generative AI's power by building specialist bots or agents that are pre-trained for a task and don't need repetitive prompting. And you need a facilitator to guide you to pick up the right specialist bot for the right purpose and use it in the right sequence of daisy chain of these bots. Otherwise, you will end up frequently setting up the large language model like this adjustable spanner. You have to set it up every time for every use. A facilitator will guide you to get the right tool for the right task, and in case the right tool is not available, for example, there is no specialist bot for a particular task on hand, the facilitator can even help you build that bot. Like all new paradigms, there will be a set of best practices and guidelines that will evolve for generative AI. Facilitators are the best people to help companies as they have an outsider's view of many companies. The sixth and the final reason is the gross underutilization of generative AI. Many teams have become accustomed to their traditional ways of working and now use generative AI to perform the same tasks faster. However, they often overlook the potential to overcome new practices or implement best practices that were previously discussed but never executed. Generative AI now makes it possible to achieve these best practices effectively, bringing greater efficiency, quality, and better product engineering. Practices such as developing user personas or proto-personas, decomposing user stories to a granular level for easier estimation and testing, defining acceptance criteria during decomposition, building test data, and adopting test driven development are now feasible and faster to execute. Yet, inertia might prevent teams from embracing these changes, leading them to stick to their old habits. This situation is akin to having a high powered racing car but continuing to pull it with a mule in the old fashioned way. You fail to leverage the full potential of new technology. This is where a facilitator becomes essential. A facilitator can guide teams to harness the full power of generative AI by adopting and embedding best practices into their workflows. Beyond facilitating the adoption of these practices, a facilitator can also ensure that resulting artifacts such as user personas, decomposed user stories, and acceptance criteria are systematically captured. These artifacts then be organized into reusable, actionable playbooks. With a facilitator's support, teams can overcome inertia, unlock the true power of generative AI, and transform their processes to achieve exceptional outcomes.